Before you ask yourself, do I love this person? Ask a harder question. What is this love doing to me? Because love that is real does not confuse you. It does not drain you. And it does not force you to abandon who you are just to be chosen. Most people don't stay in the wrong relationship because they don't see the signs. They stay because they mistake chaos for connection, and intensity for depth. But a man who has lived long enough learns to listen differently. He listens to his body, to his peace, to the quiet signals that appear when excitement fades. The truth is simple, but uncomfortable. The right person feels different, not louder, but clearer. In this video, we will walk through 6 signs that reveal whether you are truly with the right person, at the right time. Not from fantasy. Not from movies. But from experience, and hard-earned wisdom. If you've ever wondered whether your love is building you or breaking you, stay with me. Because this may change how you choose forever. Welcome to the channel, Stoic Love Wisdom. This is where every story and lesson about love will help you find the answer. Today, we will explore a new perspective through the topic, 6 signs that you're with the right people at the right time. These are real-life experiences and profound lessons that will change the way you perceive love. Follow me, because the most surprising and interesting things are still waiting for you ahead. Before starting, find a quiet place, put on your headphones and relax your mind. Let the sharing in this video help you feel more fully and enjoy every meaningful moment. Are you ready to embark on this journey? Let's begin. Sign number 1, you don't have to perform to be loved. When a man is younger, he often believes love is something he must earn. He learns, quietly and painfully, that to be chosen he must impress, entertain, explain himself, or become someone slightly better than who he really is. So he performs. He speaks differently. He hides his doubts. He suppresses his silence. He adjusts his personality like a suit that never truly fits. And for a while, it works. At least on the surface. But over time, the performance becomes exhausting. Because pretending requires energy, and love should not drain a man of himself. Here is the first and clearest sign that you are with the right person, at the right time. You no longer feel the need to perform. You don't rehearse conversations in your head before speaking. You don't censor your thoughts out of fear of losing her approval. You don't feel pressure to constantly prove your worth. You simply are. And that is enough. This does not mean you stop growing. Stoicism never teaches stagnation. But there is a profound difference between self-improvement and self-erasure. With the wrong person, a man slowly disappears. With the right person, a man becomes more himself. You notice it in the small moments. The silence no longer feels awkward. You can sit next to her without filling every second with words. You can be tired, uncertain, or quiet, and still feel respected. This is rare. Because most relationships are built on unspoken contracts. I will be who you want, as long as you stay. But the right connection has no such agreement. A woman who is right for you does not fall in love with your performance. She connects with your presence. And presence is something you cannot fake for long. As a man who has lived enough to lose people he tried too hard to keep, I can tell you this. If you must constantly act, you are already losing yourself, even if you are not losing her yet. Stoic love is quiet. It is grounded. It is built on inner stability, not external validation. When you are with the right woman at the right time, your nervous system relaxes. Your shoulders drop. Your breath slows. You are no longer in survival mode. You stop asking, "Am I enough?" Because deep down, you already know the answer. This does not mean there are no challenges. It means the challenges are faced without masks. You can disagree without fear of abandonment. You can set boundaries without guilt. You can say no without explaining yourself to exhaustion. And perhaps most importantly, you no longer feel like love is a test you might fail. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that a man should not seek applause outside himself. The same applies to love. If a relationship requires you to abandon your center, it is not love, it is negotiation. The right woman does not demand you shrink or exaggerate. She does not ask you to be louder, softer, richer, funnier, or more impressive than you are. She meets you where you stand. And you, in return, stand taller, not because you are trying, but because you are aligned. This is how you know it is the right time as well. In the wrong season of life, even the right person will feel wrong. You will cling. You will perform. You will fear loss more than dishonor. But when you are ready, truly ready, love stops feeling like a battlefield. It feels like home. Not a place of comfort without growth, but a place of truth without fear. So if you find yourself no longer pretending, no longer auditioning, no longer bargaining for affection, pay attention. You may not feel the highs of chaos. You may not feel the addiction of uncertainty. But what you will feel is something far more valuable. Peace. And peace, for a man who has learned the cost of pretending, is the rarest sign that he is finally with the right person. At the right time. Sign number 2, your nervous system feels safe, not alert. When a man has lived through enough emotional battles, he learns an uncomfortable truth. The body knows long before the mind is willing to admit it. You can convince yourself that a relationship is right. You can justify red flags with logic. You can call anxiety, passion, and instability, chemistry. But your nervous system never lies. One of the clearest signs that you are with the right person, at the right time, is this. You are no longer on edge. You are not constantly bracing for impact. You are not waiting for the next shift in mood, the next silence, the next emotional withdrawal. Your body is at rest. This matters more than most men realize. Because many men mistake emotional intensity for love. They confuse unpredictability with depth. They think that if it hurts, it must be real. That belief is often formed in chaos, not wisdom. In the wrong relationship, a man lives in a state of low-grade alertness. He checks his phone too often. He replays conversations in his head. He wonders if he said too much, or not enough. He feels the tension even when nothing is being said. That is not love. That is survival. Stoicism teaches us to observe what is within our control. Your nervous system is not something you control directly, but it is something you can listen to. When you are with the right woman at the right time, your body shifts. You sleep better. You breathe deeper. You are not rushed by imaginary deadlines of attention or affection. You stop interpreting silence as rejection. This does not mean there is constant reassurance. In fact, there may be less of it. But what exists instead is consistency. And consistency creates safety. A man does not need endless validation. He needs to know where he stands. The right woman is emotionally predictable, not boring, but stable. Her words match her actions. Her presence does not come with conditions that change daily. You are not punished with distance for speaking honestly. This is why the timing matters so much. If you are still chasing validation, safety may feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. You might mistake calm for lack of attraction. But when you have done your inner work, calm feels like clarity. You realize how much energy you wasted being vigilant in the past. You remember how often your stomach tightened before seeing her. How your heart raced not from excitement, but from uncertainty. And you understand something essential. Love should not keep your nervous system in fight or flight. A Stoic man values inner peace over emotional highs. He understands that tranquility is not weakness, it is mastery. When you are with the right person, you do not feel smaller when they pull away. Because they don't pull away to control you. There is no emotional push and pull. No silent tests. No reward and punishment games. You are not guessing. You are grounded. This allows you to show up as a man, not as a boy seeking approval. You become more patient. More focused. More deliberate. Because your energy is no longer leaking into anxiety. And perhaps the most important sign of all. You trust yourself again. You are not doubting your intuition every day. You are not constantly overriding your inner signals to keep someone close. Peace becomes your baseline. Not excitement. Not obsession. Not fear. Peace. The kind of peace that allows you to build, not just feel. So if being with her quiets your body instead of agitating it. If your mind is clearer, not louder. If your heart is steady, not racing to keep up. Then pay attention. Your body is telling you what your past relationships never could. You are safe here. And safety, for a man who has known emotional war, is not boring. It is freedom. Have you ever realized that, in love, moments of silence are sometimes more powerful than 1,000 words? Because in silence, we can hear our heartbeat more clearly and feel the presence of the other person more deeply. Here, I want to explore with you that strength, peace, and stability even when love goes through challenges. If you feel that these shares bring you something positive, please click like to support. And if you haven't clicked subscribe, do it now, so you don't miss any insight into love and maturity. I also hope to hear your story. What is the most valuable lesson that love has taught you? Please share in the comments section so we can learn and be inspired together. Come on, let's move on to the next part with a more prepared mind. Sign number 3, you are respected even when you disagree. A boy avoids conflict to keep love. A man understands that respect matters more than harmony. One of the most painful lessons I learned in love is this. You can be deeply desired, and still not respected. And without respect, desire eventually turns into control, contempt, or quiet resentment. That is why this sign is not about romance. It is about dignity. When you are with the right person, at the right time, disagreement does not threaten the relationship. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to see things differently. You are allowed to hold your ground, without being punished for it. This is rare. Because many relationships operate on an unspoken rule. Agreement equals love. Resistance equals distance. In those dynamics, a man learns to surrender his perspective just to keep the peace. He softens his opinions. He delays his boundaries. He trades truth for temporary calm. But over time, this erodes something essential inside him. Respect. Stoic philosophy teaches that a man must never abandon his principles for comfort. Love that requires self-betrayal is not love, it is dependency. The right woman does not confuse disagreement with disloyalty. She listens without trying to win. She responds without trying to dominate. She does not weaponize emotions when logic challenges her view. This does not mean arguments disappear. It means arguments remain clean. No name-calling. No silent treatment as leverage. No rewriting of reality to make you doubt yourself. You are not shamed for having standards. When a woman respects you, she does not test your strength by pushing past your boundaries. She observes them, and adjusts. And when you respect yourself, you no longer over-explain those boundaries. You state them. Calmly. Once. And that is enough. The timing matters here more than most men realize. In earlier seasons of life, a man may tolerate disrespect because he fears being alone. He may confuse emotional intensity with connection. He may accept being talked over, mocked, or minimized, as long as he is not abandoned. But when a man matures, something shifts. He would rather stand alone than kneel in a relationship. So when the right person enters at the right time, conflict becomes a place of mutual revelation, not mutual destruction. You see how she handles frustration. She sees how you hold your ground. And instead of trying to control each other, you understand each other. This creates trust. Not the naive kind. The earned kind. A Stoic man does not seek agreement. He seeks alignment. Alignment of values. Alignment of integrity. Alignment of respect. And respect is revealed most clearly when two people do not see eye to eye. If you can disagree without fear of retaliation. If your voice does not shrink when you speak your truth. If you are not made to feel guilty for having a backbone. Then you are not walking on emotional glass. You are standing on solid ground. This is how you know you are with the right person. Because love that silences you is not love. It is a slow form of erasure. The right woman does not want a man who always agrees. She wants a man who is anchored. A man who can say, "This is who I am. This is what I stand for." And remain present. Not punished for it. That kind of relationship does not weaken a man. It refines him. Sign number 4, you grow, you don't shrink, in her presence. One of the quiet tragedies in modern relationships is this. Many men slowly become smaller in the name of love. Not all at once. Not dramatically. But inch by inch. They abandon routines that once gave them strength. They soften their ambitions to avoid friction. They lower their standards to keep harmony. And they call it compromise. But compromise that costs a man his growth is not love. It is slow erosion. Here is a powerful sign you are with the right person, at the right time. Being with her makes you stronger, not weaker. You become more disciplined, not less. More focused, not distracted. More accountable to your own standards. Stoicism teaches that a man's highest duty is to become his best self, regardless of circumstance. The right woman does not distract you from that duty. She supports it. This does not mean she pushes you or manages your life. It means she does not resent your growth. She does not feel threatened by your progress. She does not sabotage your focus with emotional chaos. She does not compete with your purpose for attention. Instead, she respects your path. You notice it in how she reacts when you say, "I need to work. I need to train. I need time to think." There is no guilt. No manipulation. No drama disguised as affection. A man who has lived through enough mistakes knows this. If love requires you to abandon your discipline, it will eventually cost you your self-respect. The wrong relationship makes a man feel guilty for improving. The right one makes improvement feel natural. And the timing matters. If you meet the right woman too early, you may still be ruled by impulse. You may resist structure. You may see discipline as restriction. But when a man is ready, growth becomes sacred. He understands that love should add weight to his character, not remove it. In the presence of the right woman, you want to show up better, not to impress her, but to honor yourself. You train your body because you value strength. You sharpen your mind because you value clarity. You manage your emotions because you value control. And she notices, without demanding it. She does not say, "You need to change to deserve me." She says, without words, "I see who you are becoming." This creates a powerful dynamic. You are not motivated by fear of loss. You are motivated by alignment. Stoic love is not about merging identities. It is about two complete individuals walking in the same direction. If you feel that your vision for the future is expanding, not shrinking. If your goals feel supported, not challenged. If your standards are rising, not being negotiated downward. Then you are not sacrificing your potential for affection. You are building something sustainable. This is how you know it is the right time. Because immature love demands attention. Mature love respects momentum. The right woman does not need to be the center of your world. She needs to be part of a world that is moving forward. And when you grow, she grows. When you elevate, the relationship elevates. No one is held back. No one is left behind. So ask yourself honestly. Since being with her, are you becoming more of the man you respect? Or less? The answer will tell you everything. In love, sometimes silence is the answer. It gives us time to listen to ourselves and understand the other person's heart better. That's also the reason I share stories on this channel, so that you have a pause, a peaceful space to reflect. If you find this meaningful, please click like and don't forget to subscribe, so that we can continue to accompany each other on the journey to find a peaceful and profound love. Now, let's continue the rest with me. Sign number 5, you think in terms of we, without losing I. One of the most misunderstood ideas in love is unity. Many people believe love means merging completely. No separation. No distance. No individuality. But a man who has lived long enough knows this truth. When you lose yourself to become we, the relationship eventually collapses under the weight of two half people. The right relationship does something far more subtle. It allows we to exist, without erasing I. This is a clear sign you are with the right person, at the right time. You naturally think about the future together. Your decisions consider her presence. Your plans include space for her life. But you do not abandon your identity to make that happen. You do not dissolve into the relationship. You do not seek permission to exist as an individual. You are still a man with direction. Stoicism teaches that a man must first govern himself before he can walk beside another. If you cannot stand alone, you will cling, and clinging poisons love. In unhealthy relationships, weak becomes a cage. Every choice must be approved. Every interest must be shared. Every boundary is treated as distance. But with the right woman, we feels expansive, not restrictive. You can pursue your own path without suspicion. She can pursue hers without fear. There is trust, not surveillance. You do not need to constantly reassure each other of commitment. Because commitment is reflected in consistency, not control. This balance only appears at the right time. Earlier in life, a man may rush into we out of insecurity. He may confuse intensity with closeness. He may sacrifice independence to avoid abandonment. But maturity teaches restraint. A Stoic man understands that love is strongest when two stable identities choose each other, daily. You are not together because you are afraid to be alone. You are together because your lives move better in parallel. This is evident in language. You say, we, when discussing shared values, long-term vision, and mutual responsibility. But you still say, I, when speaking of purpose, principles, and personal growth. And neither of you feels threatened by that distinction. She does not see your individuality as distance. You do not see hers as disloyalty. This creates something rare. A relationship without suffocation. There is space to breathe. Space to think. Space to become. And paradoxically, that space brings you closer. Because attraction fades when there is no room for polarity. When two people become indistinguishable, desire loses tension. The right woman does not want to absorb you. She wants to walk beside you. Not behind. Not ahead. Beside. And you do the same. This is how you know it is right. You do not fear independence. You do not fear togetherness. Both can coexist. So if your relationship allows you to build a shared future without dismantling your personal foundation. If you feel connected without feeling confined. If we feels like a choice, not a sacrifice. Then you are not losing yourself in love. You are standing firmly within it. Sign number 6, the future feels steady, not heavy. When a man is younger, the future feels like a question mark. He rushes toward it or runs from it, often without clarity. But experience changes a man. He learns that not all love is meant to be carried forward. Some love teaches. Some love breaks. Some love prepares him. And then, one day, the future stops feeling like pressure. This is the final sign that you are with the right person, at the right time. When you think about the future with her, your chest does not tighten. It settles. You are not calculating escape routes. You are not wondering how long you can keep this going. You are not negotiating with time. The idea of tomorrow does not exhaust you. It grounds you. In the wrong relationship, the future feels heavy. Marriage feels like a trap. Commitment feels like surrender. Responsibility feels like a loss of freedom. You may enjoy the present, but the horizon fills you with quiet dread. That is not fear of responsibility. That is intuition warning you. Stoicism teaches us to accept what is necessary and discard what is false. If the future feels unbearable, it is because something in the present is misaligned. The right woman does not make the future feel smaller. She makes it feel clearer. You do not need to rush. You do not need to delay. You simply move forward, deliberately. This clarity only appears when timing is right. If you are still healing, the future feels overwhelming. If you are still searching for yourself, the future feels constricting. But when you are ready, and she is right, the future feels like structure, not weight. You think about building, not escaping. About contribution, not sacrifice. About continuity, not endurance. This does not mean everything is easy. It means it is worth carrying. A Stoic man does not seek a future without burden. He seeks a future with meaningful weight. And love, when it is right, feels like a load shared, not imposed. You imagine responsibilities together, not alone. You see challenges as something faced side by side, not something you must survive. There is no fantasy here. Just realism, and resolve. The right woman does not promise a perfect future. She offers a stable one. One where trust replaces doubt. Where planning replaces guessing. Where effort feels intentional, not desperate. And perhaps the most important sign of all. You are not afraid of choosing. You are not stalling out of fear of making the wrong decision. You are not staying out of comfort. You are choosing, consciously. Because for the first time, the future does not feel like a gamble. It feels like direction. And direction is what every Stoic man ultimately seeks. Not excitement. Not drama. Not escape. Direction. So if thinking about tomorrow with her brings calm instead of tension. If commitment feels like alignment instead of loss. If the road ahead feels solid beneath your feet. Then understand this. You are not settling. You are arriving. Conclusion. After everything a man experiences in love, the mistakes, the losses, the lessons, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. The right relationship does not feel chaotic. It feels clear. It does not demand that you abandon yourself to be chosen. It does not keep your nervous system on edge. It does not punish you for having boundaries, ambition, or a voice of your own. Instead, it meets you where you are, grounded, awake, and ready. The right person does not arrive to save you. They arrive when you no longer need saving. That is why timing matters as much as love. When you are not ready, even the right person will feel wrong. You will cling, perform, compromise your principles, and mistake anxiety for passion. But when you are ready, love becomes simple. Not easy, but simple. You recognize peace instead of chasing intensity. You value respect over excitement. You choose growth over comfort. Stoic love is not about grand gestures or constant reassurance. It is about alignment. Alignment of values. Alignment of direction. Alignment of character. When love is right, it strengthens your discipline, not your dependency. It sharpens your clarity, not your confusion. It gives you a future that feels steady, not heavy. And perhaps the most important realization of all. The right relationship does not complete you. It walks beside you while you complete yourself. So if you find yourself calmer, stronger, and more grounded in love. If you are no longer asking whether you are enough. If the future feels like a path instead of a burden. Then trust that feeling. Not because it is exciting. But because it is true. And truth, for a man who has learned to listen, is the clearest sign that he is finally with the right person. At the right time. Thank you for watching today's video. I'm so happy to share my lessons about love and relationships with you. I hope you learned something new and can apply it to your life. If you find the video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Thank you for always accompanying and supporting me. Wish you a good day and don't forget to love yourself a lot.